Hey guys, hey, my name is Travis Rattler and I am a physician assistant at the Mayo Clinic Health System here in Kenyon. And I may have seen some of you before here in the clinic. Today I am here to talk with you guys about self-control. Your excellent principal, Katie Sherman, has had me have this little discussion with you. And so I'm going to read a book to you today. The book is entitled Hooray for Wadney Wat, which is really kind of goofy. Some of you may have heard this before. It is written by a woman named Helen Lester and it's illustrated by Lynn Munsinger. So here it goes. Oh, I'm going to tell you, so the issue with self-control is there's a bully in this book, and the bully in the book really has a lack of self-control, and so that's going to be my take-home point. Okay, so here it goes. Hooray for Wadney Wat. Poor Wadney. Wadney Wat. His real name was Rodney Rat, but he couldn't pronounce his R's. And to make matters worse, he was a rodent, or a wodent. What's your name? Wadney, asked the other rodents. Wadney Wat, whispered Wadney. What's another name for bunny? They asked knowingly. Wabbit, he mumbled. And how does a train travel? They winked at each other. A twain travels on twain twacks, Wadney replied miserably. All of this teasing, day in and day out, made Wadney the shyest rodent in his elementary school. His squeak could barely be heard in class. He gnawed lunch alone. And while the other rodents scurried and scooted about at recess, Wadney hid inside of his jacket. He's hiding right here. He's very sad. Then, one day, as the rodents were taking turns doing wheelies on the wheel, which is kind of funny, a new rodent, a very large rodent, barged into the classroom and announced, "My name is Camila Capybara. I'm bigger than any of you, I'm meaner than any of you, and I'm smarter than any of you." And then she added, "So there." Ooh, she's kind of nasty, isn't she? With that, she accidentally, on purpose, elbowed an ear, bumped two noses, stepped on three tails, and laid on a desk. Fur prickled in fear throughout the classroom. She sure was bigger than any of them. Ooh, and she sure looked meaner than any of them. But was she smarter than any of them? "What's 2 plus 2? Asked Mrs. Fuzzleworth. "4, shouted Camila Capybara, even without bothering to raise her paw. "And furthermore, 4 plus 4 is 8, 8 plus 8 is 16, and 243 plus 125 is 368. Whoa. Later, when Miss Fuzzleworth asked, "What's the capital of," Camila interrupted, "New York? Albany. Population 295,594. And during science, in answer to the question, "What part of a plant is below the ground?" Camila Capybara danced on her desk and sang, "Root, root, root-a-toot-toot." Yep, thought all the other rodents. She is smarter than we are too, and they felt very, very uncomfortable. Well, every afternoon, just before the final recess, Miss Fuzzleworth drew a name from her hat to see who would be the leader for their favorite game, Simon Says. She scrunched her eyes closed and jiggled the hat. Would it be Harry the hamster? Minnie Feet Mouse? Grizzle Frizz Grinny Pig? Could it be big, mean, smart Camila Capybara? Mrs. Fuzzleworth's paw reached in and pulled out the name of Wadney Wat. The bell rang and there was a wild scurry for the door, and Camila Capybara was the first on the playground, having trampled the others in her path. As you can see, she kind of she loses self-control and takes out everybody on the way. And so to Wadney, she looked especially scary. What would she do when she heard him speak? Would she breathe capybara breath all in his face? Or would she tie him up in his own tail? Or would she pounce on him and squish him like a little bug? Aw. So the tiny, trembling leader of the game stood before the eager players. His head was well inside of his jacket, and he squeaked, "Wadney says, weed the sign." And while the other rodents read, "PS 142 Elementary School for Rodents," Camila Capybara began pulling up weeds around the sign and wildly flinging them hither and yon until she was clear up to her teeth in dirt. And the other rodents began to smile, because she didn't really understand. Wadney says, "Whap your paws around your head." And he peeked a little peek out of his jacket and saw, whap, whap, whappity, whap, whap, slappity, whap. Camila was whapping her paws all around her head so hard that she became dizzy. She gave herself a headache and had to sit down. The other rodents could not stop giggling. Wadney says, "Play Wing-A-Wound the Woozy." And Camila put her arms like wings and made an airplane noise. But where was the woozy? What was a woozy, she thought. By now, Wadney's voice was a little stronger, and his head was entirely out of his jacket. "Wake the leaves!" Nobody moved, because they're smart. Wadney says, "Wake the leaves!" And while Harry, Minifeet, Grizzlefrizz, and the others busied themselves raking, Camila Capybara grabbed one leaf and said, "Wake up!" she yelled. "Wake up!" She snatched another. "Come on, you! Up, up, up!" And another. "Rise and shine!" And another. "Boo!" By now, all the other rodents were squealing with laughter, all but Camila, who frowned. Stupid leaves, they won't wake up. And why was everyone laughing at her? Such bullies, she thought. In a voice so strong that he had to hold his own ears, Wadney called, "Wadney says go west!" And the rodents all collapsed in a happy heap for a rest. Go west. And Camila Capybara, feeling very smart that she should tell directions by the sun, said, "All right, I shall go west." And then she added, "So there." West she stomped forever, and she was gone. And from that day on, the pupils of PS 142 Elementary School for Rodents never teased Wadney again. He was their hero. "Hooray for Wadney Wat," they cried. "Woot woot, wooty toot toot." And so, that's the end of my book. And it goes to show you, I think, that Camila Capybara was kind of a bully, and she really didn't have self-control. And in the end, it caused her problems, and she ended up leaving the school. And it goes to show that poor little Rodney, and Wadney, dare I say, he was so nervous and he was shy because he had the speech impediment. But he realized that by gaining confidence that he himself had gained self-control. And so I think that's a good, happy story. Makes me smile. So I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you.